It's Monday. Yeah, it's morning out there, folks.
Folks, it's Macabre. Welcome back, or welcome to, if you knew,
Welcome
to
to
Monday
If You
Morning
Knew.
Macabre. Welcome to If You Knew.
Welcome to If
Bring
You
two friends if you
Know.
knew. Bring two friends, make new friends.
That's the rules of the pyramid scheme.
That's the rule of Monday Morning Macabre. Guys, welcome back. We've returned. Well, we're back from
We've
a week
returned.
break. Big week for old Darts Pants over here. My son was born 5 days ago. As of the recording, no. What is it? Let's see, Monday. I don't even know. I haven't slept. It's been wild and crazy times. I also closed on my house yesterday. And so that it's been a big old week, and I'm moving stuff tomorrow. So it's gonna be like, it's just like so much content in my real life,
Indeed. Yeah, it's pretty crazy over at the old Scone Palace as well, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, tell me all about it, Scotty. What's going on in your life, dude? I haven't spoken to you in a bit.
Listen, I read a book. That was like the first time in like 3 years.
Yeah, dude, I was doing the same thing.
Pretty
like,
wild.
A couple months back. What book did you read?
It's
It's about this turtle who can count by twos and tie his shoes. It's like, it's really
It's about
deep.
these upstart kids who mess up their house with a giant cat in a hat, and their goldfish yells at them or something. I don't know. I really blew through it.
As reading's easy, dude. Finished it in like 2 hours. I was like, reading's wicked easy, dude.
So I got a full plate over here.
Have you? I know. I don't know if you've read more by that author, but he's got some crazy shit with turtles. Loraxes are around.
That dude was on some kind of drugs. I actually went near his. I went snorkeling, right? Like, so he had this house in San Diego, looking over the water. And I snorkeled there one time when I was in high school, and it was pretty cool. The guide was like, "Hey, that's Dr. Seuss's house." He was really mean to his wife, and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, he was. He made her kill herself, baby.
So think about that next time you're cutting down trees.
Yeah, next time there's a wallet in your pocket, take a fucking second look, brother. Also, I don't know if the company Zillow got their name from that book, but that was my.
What is a Zillow?
He's in your pillow.
Oh no!
No, I've read this to my daughter, and there's a.
You open your pillow, it's like there's a price drop on 249.
I'm like, Hazel, the market right now, it's
Hazel,
so hot.
Look at the Zestimate on our home.
There's a Zestimate on my estimate. Yeah, so it's been a wild time over here. Like I said, we're running on fumes, but for you guys, the listeners, we're always ready.
I'm willing to run out of fumes for you listeners.
I'm gonna pull over on I-95 with no fucking gasket and push my car to the fucking route, like the next goddamn McDonald's / PJ Fresh or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, no oil or anything, just gear grinding on gear.
Grinding gear. I'm just gonna pull it with my teeth, like I'm a strongman in the 20s.
That would be. Don't you wish we were like strongmen in the 20s, me and you?
Yeah, I wish we were.
Like we're just like, whoa, hey, just like tossing like people in the crowd.
I'm just kicking them and like juggling them with my legs as I'm kicking them in a circle.
And wearing like those stripes like leotards.
Yeah,
just like
hey. That apparently double as swimsuits back then. Guys, welcome to Monday Morning Macabre. And thank you for being so patient. They say patience is a virtue, but to me, patience is the name of my son.
Wow, patience do good, Darcy. Really went Puritan with it.
Yeah. Yeah, right? And I'm changing my last name to Osgood.
Osgood?
Super Puritan. I don't know, it just sounds Puritan-y, doesn't it?
It does. Could start calling Jenny Goody Darcy.
I already go, yo, what's goodles? Every day we wake up. As soon as we wake up, I turn to her and I say that she's still with me. So I think it's working.
Tales old as time. That was pretty much the opening scene in Up.
Yep. So Scones, I'm gonna be bringing that TMNT.
Bring me that. Spill that tea.
I'm gonna spill some tea.
First of all, band, spill that intro music all over the airwaves.
Yeah, spill it all over my body. It's hot and it's burning. This is a listener suggestion.
Oy vey.
Interesting choice. Dakota, Rig, / Lucas, who knows?
Oh my gosh,
baby.
based on the moon cycles, I believe.
Yes, I don't know. Are we waxing? Are we waning? Who cares?
I'm throwing out a guess, though. Hold on. Waxing crescent's my guess.
I'm a waning gibbous. Gibbous? No, gibbon is a monkey.
Right now. No, I think gibbous is also a moon phase.
Is it? It's
moon
either
phase today.
Yeah, no, gibbous is right.
It's a waning crescent. I was close.
Oh.
Or was I close? No, I wasn't.
No, you
close
said waxing crescent.
I said waning actually.
Yeah, you're about as far away as you could be. I, on the other hand, am a bit of a lunar guy. Okay. My daughter every night goes, moon, and then I bring her out to the moon, and she goes, bye, moon.
And then she transforms and runs off into the woods.
Yeah, and then I wake up, and there's a dead goat on my porch. It's like really sick.
Kids.
Kids these days. So today, I'm going to be bringing you, Scones, the Tanacu Exorcism. It might be Tanacu. It's Romanian.
Exorcism?
Exorcism, I hardly know.
This feels like something I'm hitting this point where it feels like we've talked about this, but
no. Well, the thing is that every time anyone does an exorcism, it's horrible. So like, there's so many to choose from.
I don't know. You never hear about those exorcisms that went real smooth.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's never like, I had this demon, got exorcised. I'm doing great now. It's always like,
I've never been more well adjusted.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they lit her entire skin on fire for 5 hours, and you're like, oh god,
that did the trick.
Yeah, no more demons. So yeah, Dakota Riggs, shout out to you. The Tanacu. Okay, I should preface this.
Yes, please do.
Like I said, it's Romanian. I am not that, and there's many word that is like hachi chachi.
In my dumb American brain, that's like one of the scariest places in horror fiction is Romania.
Yep.
Even though there's probably so many other things about Romanian culture that I just don't know.
It's all just castles in the background
and impaling and vampires.
Yeah. Just moonlit castles and bats. It's a bat. Scouts. God damn it. You know when you're so tired that like shit just like you hear I hear things now. Anyway, Scones,
auditory hallucinations.
Auditory. What if this entire podcast was an auditory hallucination I had? That would be
wow. I'd be like, that guy has some of the craziest schizophrenia I've ever heard of.
Dude, we should get a podcast with 2 schizophrenic people and call it like schizophrenia. Am I right?
That I would listen to that. I would be interested to hear about the point of view and like the life of 2 people like that.
We're gonna get to spooky because I feel like people are like chomping at the bit for
get on with it.
Hey, talk about the dead.
That's a very old movie reference. Get on with it.
I feel like I have no idea what that is because it's so generic, and that could be
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Holy Grail, Holy Hand Grenade. I was thinking.
Here's another really old movie reference. Well, we're waiting.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell us which one that is.
That one is Caddyshack. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome to Schizophren.
Someone screamed into their like audio device and was like, I said it. And they're like, good. I got it.
All right, Scones. Let's get down to the business at hand. The Tanacu Exorcism. Again, if I get anything wrong, that maybe you're wrong. In the aftermath of the Romanian Revolution of December 1989, the Socialist Republic of Romania, which officially promoted state atheism, collapsed, resulting in the end of the persecution of Christians in communist Romania.
Was that part of Soviet Russia?
Baby, it's all gravy.
Oh, you're right.
I have no idea. As well as the revival of Christian monasticism in the country. In January 2005, 23-year-old I gotta figure out how I'm gonna. Okay. Maricica.
Marichong.
It's Maricica. So I'm trying to figure out it's like a Maricica. I'm going to say Maricica, sure.
This reminds me of the Black Tapes. Great podcast.
Yep.
Free ad.
Great podcast. Maricica Irina Cornici moved to the Tanacu Monastery. She was born into a broken family, and following her father's suicide, she and her brother grew up in an orphanage. When she was 19, she worked as a nanny in Germany, and then for a family in Banat. A friend of hers from the orphanage became a nun at the Tanacu Monastery, and she encouraged her to also become a nun. Scones, do you want to become a nun with me?
If I'm encouraged enough, definitely.
Do you want to become a D's with me, though?
Oh,
Oh, got him.
The Order of Eligma.
Oh! That was fun. That was the most fun I had in a week.
Sheesh.
Soon after, she began giggling during Mass, which, I mean, come on.
That's who giggles during Mass?
And by April, her mental state deteriorated, and the doctors at the local psychiatric hospital diagnosed her disease as schizophrenia. Yeah, that seems like a huge leap.
She giggled a Mass, and her mental state crumbled.
Person passed a note to her that said, like, what did the fucking, I don't know any one-liner jokes right now, so they wrote a funny silly, and then she went hee hee hee, and the priest was like, you're schizophrenic, baby. After a 2-week treatment, they released her into the care of the monastery. Cornici's friends also stated that she never exhibited any signs of mental illness.
Yeah.
Her brother. Yeah, she giggled at church, bro.
And I'm getting the same vibe.
Her brother testified that he was with her when he saw Satan go, quote, into her, and also maintained that she suffered from demonic possession.
Oh.
Big on that one.
No, I'm sure it's going to end up fine.
Yeah, don't worry. Daniel Peter Corogeanu was the 29-year-old...
Wait, is his first name Daniel Peter?
No, it's Daniel P. I mean, the middle name it's probably Petra. I knew someone named Petra, but it was...
I watched Jane the Virgin and this character named Petra.
All right, Daniel Petra Corogeanu was the 29-year-old priest of the monastery. A decade before the events, he was a football player in Vaslui, his hometown. Yeah. He began following religious studies at the University of Lassi after he could not secure admission in the University of Bucharest. So, like, Bucharest is always a reach school, and I get that, but Lassi's a pretty good fallback.
Dude. If I had a dime for every kid at my high school who was trying to go to Bucharest.
Yeah, it's like, I remember the couple kids who got early admission to it and would wear their freaking Bucharest hoodie around. I was like,
God, the fucking dickheads.
Fucking dickhead.
And I'm like, they only got in because their dad's on the board at Bucharest.
Yeah, I went to Bucharest too.
You went to Bucharest, Phil? What'd you major in?
Take a guess.
It's gotta be hot cars, right?
Ding, 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 ding. It was a make your own major program.
Oh, it's cool. It's nice that they're flexible like that. Make your own major.
Dude, the world's worrying about how to recycle waste, and if they can just get as efficient as us recycling the hot cars joke, we're good. The world's safe.
It's never not funny to me. So
100% efficiency, baby.
After he could not secure admission in the University of Bucharest, where he wanted to study sport or law, a year later, a businessman from his hometown recruited him to help build a monastery, which is like, what the fuck is happening in Romania?
His life is going all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could
how
you
do you go from
imagine
sports law to building a monastery?
Just a shady businessman is like, excuse me, young sir, would you like to build a monastery with me? And he was like, fucking sure. Why not?
Whatever, dude. I'm just fucking sports and or law student over here.
Yeah, I play soccer, so like I think those skills probably translate.
I think the businessman was the devil in disguise.
Yeah,
like,
right? Yeah, that makes sense. That actually is the one that makes the most sense.
He hands him a card. It's like real estate agent, like David Beelzebub or something. It's
exactly.
He has like a really nice suit.
Loose fur. So he was ordained by the local bishop, who expected that he would continue his studies. Nevertheless, he gave up his university education in order to devote himself to running the monastery. In 2003, Father Corogeanu had some disputes with the diocese. When the bishops came to read him the canon law, he argued that the rules were, quote, 19th century innovations made by the Freemasonry. The original community of monks dissolved.
We're getting into the fucking
We're getting into the
Illuminati here.
Freemasons, brother. Yeah, so Freemasonry is like so weird. The original community of monks dissolved as they left to become priests, and instead Corogeanu organized a community of nuns who were, according to all accounts, quote, completely devout to him. So how does this tie into our old friend Maricica? Let's find out, Scony. The Exorcism.
Please
Let's
do.
talk about. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Hey, be about it, baby.
Father Corogeanu thought it was not just a mental illness, but rather that Cornici was possessed by Satan. He would later claim that.
Writings on the wall.
Writings on the walls. He would later claim that, quote, you can't take the devil out of people with pills, which is
debatable.
It's like, schizophrenia is almost entirely managed through pills.
Brother, listen, have we let's get into microdosing right now.
Yo, brother.
It's me, Theo Vaughn. I used to fucking microdose with my goddamn gym teacher, and then we hooked up. It was fucking crazy, dude.
So after saying that you can't take the devil out of people with pills, he then explained how that is a reason for an exorcism to be necessary.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. That's
no other way to fix giggling in church, my dudes. In order to restrain her from violent movements,
schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Another word for giggling in church.
That's actually Latin for giggle in church. In order to restrain her from violent movements, including those causing her to hit herself, the nuns bound her hands and feet and locked her in a room as they participated in the liturgy commemorating the ascension of Jesus.
I wish there was like an ironic study of how many of these things cause mental illness.
Yeah, right.
Of like,
yeah, it's kind of, they got it reversed a little bit. A few days later, they chained her to a cross with her arms stretched and carried her into the church so that they could anoint her. Well, I don't know if crucifixion. I guess if crucifixion
to a cross,
that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty crucifixion-y. The only thing missing is the nails. I don't know if that was the ultimate. Okay, now you're officially crucified. You know,
now you on the Jesus level.
Yeah. So they were like, the only way to fix this.
She's got the knockoff Jesus going right now.
Yeah, she got the Mad Catz Jesus controller.
That's such a good reference.
It's I don't even know if it's specific, but you probably, if you guys have ever played PS2 at your cousin's house in 9th grade, you know what I'm talking about.
If you ever wanted something in your family, was like your dad was like, "This is the same." And gets you
your grandparents ever buy you something for Christmas? Exactly. Anyway, so they bring her to the church so they can anoint her. According to Sister Nicoletta, whatever the fuck her last name is, Cornici had been restrained in the same manner that others who were demonically possessed were. She stated that Cornici had not been restrained. She, quote, she said that if she had not been restrained, she could have, quote, either killed herself or killed someone else. With regards to Cornici, Sister stated that...
Wait, the person chained up said that?
No. That was one of the nuns who was doing the chaining.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
Yeah, and then she said Irina, who is the person who is crucified.
Chainee.
The chainee. Irina knew that she was possessed by evil spirits because she was begging us to tie her up and help her. Which, that sounds...
But she wasn't.
Awfully suspicious. Her wrists and forehead were then anointed with holy oil, and she was kept in the church for 3 days. They put a towel into her mouth to stop her from cursing and prayed to cast out the devil as they wet her lips with holy water.
I like that a big priority for them is to keep her from cursing.
Yeah, they're like, come on. Like, this is a children's crucifixion. Yeah. Cornici was then moved to her room and untied. She was, according to Father Corogeanu, cured. She was later given bread and tea and fainted after eating. The nuns could not arouse her and sensed that her pulse was weak, and as a result they called an ambulance. While in the ambulance, she was administered 6 doses of adrenaline. By the time she reached the hospital...
How did her heart not explode?
Well, Scones, by the time she reached the hospital, she was dead.
Yeah. What is happening? Wait, who gave her the adrenaline?
The ambulance person, the EMT.
What? Is that I might be wrong. Is that an appropriate amount of adrenaline? Please write in if any listeners are EMT or paramedics.
We'll kind of get into it a little bit here. This is the aftermath. The police were notified by the doctors at the hospital who noticed the marks left on her wrists and ankles by the chains. The 2005 autopsy claimed that she had died of dehydration, exhaustion, and a lack of oxygen. Father Corogeanu had the four nuns who helped him were charged with murder and depriving a person of liberty. Prosecutors sought a life sentence for Corogeanu, but he was sentenced in 2007 to 14 years in prison, while the nuns were sentenced
I'm surprised he got anything at all, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It feels weird whenever it's like a religious thing, because like I feel like it just doesn't ever get actually prosecuted.
Yeah, they get away with a lot, but let's not get into that. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
That's the movie Spotlight.
Jeez. So the other nuns got 5 to 8 years. Many individuals were present in the courtroom to support Father Corogeanu and were distraught at the pronouncement of the verdict. The Court of Appeals reduced his sentence to 7 years, and Corogeanu was freed on parole in November 2011 after serving two-thirds of his punishment.
Okay.
Yeah, 66.6% repeating.
Of course.
Boy, of course. As Maricica Irina Cornici was lowered into her grave during her funeral, claps of thunder were heard, leading Corogeanu to conclude that the will of God has been done, which is a shitty thing to say. The Romanian Orthodox Church closed down the monastery and had Corogeanu defrocked.
That's a good word.
Yeah,
I like that word.
Yeah, it's a good word. It sounds culinary to me. Like you got to defrock the chicken before you can, put it in the oven. What do you think, gang?
Right in. Was that call that? Was that A, hilarious? B, too funny for me?
Hashtag.
Or C,
can you not even?
3 funny, 5 me.
Ooh, I like it. In 2014, however, it was found that the cause of death was actually due to an overdose of adrenaline given in the ambulance with Coroner Dan Jorhue, that's a butcher, stating, quote, "I was part of the team who handled the exhumation of the nun's body. It was concluded that the woman died of an overdose of adrenaline. Don't ask me. I don't know why the judges did not take that into account."
I like this guy excusing himself, just like, hey, don't ask me, dude.
Hey, don't ask me, buddy. I didn't see nothing.
Listen, he didn't hear it from me.
Father Corogeanu stated that, quote, "My biggest mistake was that I called the ambulance when I saw she was not moving. I think she died because the medics who came with the ambulance tried to resuscitate her by giving her too much adrenaline. Had I not called the ambulance, she would be alive and well now."
I think I would attribute a little bit of guilt to everybody involved.
I think there's a lot. Yeah, it's like, like r/am I the asshole? And it's like everyone here's the asshole. That's
like,
how it
so
feels.
I starved and dehydrated this girl, chained her up to a cross.
So there's this chick who was giggling in my sermon, and I put her on a giant T made of wood. Nah, you telling me I'm a jerk?
He's like the asshole guy who's like, yo, she's just crazy, dude. Like, it was never gonna work out, bro. She was just crazy. She giggled in church, bro. That chick's just crazy.
She's nuts. In Tanacu, many people continue to maintain that Cornici was indeed possessed rather than mentally ill, and that Corogeanu did his best to help her.
I'm glad that plot line still is strong, that she was possessed after all of this.
People are still like, yep, definitely that. Veronica Tomilescu stated that, quote, "It's not as if they actually killed her. They didn't stab her or shoot her. They took her to the hospital alive," which
this person
what a bad take.
This person has such a literal definition for the word kill.
Yeah, right.
You have to either shoot them or stab them.
There's
all her worldly knowledge has been from watching like Law and Order style shows.
So that's the case of the Tanacu exorcism. Pretty wild stuff. I think everyone involved sucks. I think
another classic Monday morning.
Another classic MMM story.
A botched investigation.
Yeah, botched investigation.
Religious institutions gone like unfettered,
unchecked. Oh, defrocked and unfettered. That's my next. That's my next cops show.
That's our new cooking show. Did you just hunt a pheasant? Defrocked and unfeather the pheasant before cooking.
Can we make a buddy cop movie where I'm like John Defrocked and you're like Tony Unfettered?
Yes. I love the name Tony Unfettered so much. But my cousin's in the mob, and he's our informant.
Yeah, exactly. He's played by Rudy Giuliani's like gopher.
He's got like black ink dripping down his face.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just like Rudy Giuliani does.
Just like Rudy, father, baby. Like gopher son.
Meet him outside a landscaping company where he's just dripping swag from his head. Oh man, old events. Remember those?
Remember not that distant past. Thank you all for listening, guys. Dakota, I don't even have to say I hope we did this justice because I know we did, and I know you loved it. Send in more suggestions, listeners. We appreciate them.
Also send in if anyone here, I challenge our listeners to find and put forward an exorcism that went just as planned, and everyone ended up way better afterwards.
Super happy. Yes, exactly. We'd love to hear about that. That would be very interesting.
I'm issuing that challenge.
That's going to be on me and Scones' new podcast, Exorcisters, where we gab about exorcisms that have gone well.
Where I get as many exorcisms as I can before I die. I'm addicted to exorcism.
This guy's addicted. My Strange Addiction Exorcism Edition. I love it.
That would be amazing. You definitely would be able to survive. How many exorcisms do you think the human body can survive?
All right, bro. 1 duck-sized horse or 100 exorcisms.
It's like a David
ducks.
Blaine survival thing where he puts himself in a box and gets exercised 100 times.
Thank you guys for listening. Shout out to the Patreon supporters, guys. We appreciate you. I imagine the Patreon episode will be a little slow coming out because, again, I am so fucking busy in my life right now that I'm just trying to make it day by day. And
yeah, it's pretty
hectic.
You guys
understand. Pretty hectic. Between house moving, new child, and all the exorcisms I scheduled for Scones this week. It's a lot of stuff I got to handle.
Come at me, baby.
Thank you guys for listening. Check out our socials, Monday Morning Macabre on Twitter, MM Pod on... Nope, switch them. MM Macabre Pod on Twitter, Monday Morning Macabre on Instagram. Tell your friends. Find a friend who doesn't listen to podcasts. Say, baby boy, I love you so much. You gotta listen to this podcast.
I got nothing to add. That was perfect. That's what you should say, listener.
Baby boy. Doesn't matter the gender. Baby boy, you gotta listen to this podcast.
If you're ever in a church and you see someone laughing, see something, say something.
Yeah, see giggles, say giggles, dude. And beyond that, guys, have a grand old Monday.
Boy.
Boy.